name is Kevin. Dakar
Yeah.
Foundation. We have an apprenticeship program. A couple of our apprenticeships have been through Paramount, I guess, from Brotherhood Crusade.
Oh,
All
we
these-
just
all
we
the-
just had
I know.
Brotherhood Crusade on Wednesday.
I know, but all these guys were kind of a part of the apprenticeship program that doesn't connect to the cap and gown, I think.
Kindergarten to cap and gown.
Yeah, so these guys are part of an apprenticeship, a registered apprenticeship program for the state of California and the federal government in digital media entertainment.
That's great. That's
And
great.
so-
Is at Brotherhood Crusade?
Well, no, they went through Brotherhood Crusade as part of my pipeline.
Okay.
So our model is earn to learn. So
Yep.
we use Brotherhood Crusade as our partner
Great.
to essentially make sure that they got something called TWOW, which is Transitional Age Youth World of Work, which is really more financial and financial literacy, financial management.
Sure. Yep.
Learning all the things about time management and basically the world of career and world of work.
Great.
Then they hand them over to me, and then we put them out in the field for production.
Great.
So we're producing short form media, basically blogs, podcasts, and all kinds of things so that we can be an interactive ad agency.
That's great.
Young people, these 23, 21, and 19. But I want to introduce her because they wanted to interview you and just see if we can get a few sound bites from you about, what you thought about the panel and what you want
sure.
to have, is your impact on, anything moving forward. So Mariah, if you can introduce yourself to Jennifer.
Hi, Mariah.
How are you doing? I'm Mariah Bahati.
Hi, Mariah. Nice to meet you. I'm Jennifer.
Nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Nice to meet you too. You're in charge. Tell me what you want.
Yeah. Finished off?
I'm going to turn the lights on.
Okay. And you're 23?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were at Brotherhood Crusade?
Yes. So, I met Kevin. He actually introduced me to Brotherhood Crusade, where I get,
Louder.
and I just been a part of his foundation, the Dakar Foundation, and I've just been attending events like this, where I'm learning to broadcast my knowledge and my skills and capabilities, and whatever I can do to benefit my future career.
Excellent.
So,
We're big fans of Brotherhood Crusade. We just
Okay.
had about 50 Brotherhood Crusade youth on the lot last Wednesday. Huge fan of Charisse Remote. She's amazing. That runs Brotherhood Crusade. So
This
yeah.
gentleman here was just Wednesday. He was there Wednesday.
You were there Wednesday on
Yeah,
the
Paramount,
lot.
Paramount.
That's great for the scavenger hunt.
Yes, I was there. Yeah, it was right on scavenger.
Yeah, was it long? Yeah, but we fed you. We fed you, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Did you have fun? What'd you find? You found Lucy Park. I'm trying to think what we put on the scavenger
They
hunt.
had like the
Forrest Gump bench
then they had like a little New York in their backyard, like what's it, New York stuff.
called New York Street, right? So that's our back lot that's made to look like New York, so that we can shoot things there and people think it's New York City and they don't actually
Oh, and
have
the
to fly to
train,
New York City.
train station too.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's great.
No, they was moving it when we was there. I'm sorry about that. They was moving it when we was there. So they did it quick. So
Oh, yeah.
I am quick.
That's great. I'm glad you were there.
Yeah, no, it was a nice experience for sure.
Good. Yeah, it's a fun place to work.
How long have you been working?
I've been there for like 10 and a half years now at Paramount. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good gig. And it's a fun place to work. It really is. And you never know like who you're going to see on the lot and what's going to happen. On that day we had Greg Tarzan Davis from Top Gun Maverick, and he's going to be in Mission Impossible 7. He was on the lot hanging out, and that was great. You had a really good panel that spoke to you in that morning, right? You had our head of physical production, you had Tom Hershey, who's in sourcing.
Yeah, Tom.
You had Michelle Bell in creative advertising, I think. You guys had it was a good panel, I think.
No, yeah, it was nice. It was great. The most part for me was the New York. I can't lie. I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much. It looked like familiar, like mini shows and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So we've got this one building has been used as Glee High School, but it's also been used as the Boston Police Department for a TV show called Rizzoli and Arms. And it's the same building. So it all depends on kind of how you look at it and how we dress it and what we do to make it look different. But it's the exact same building.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
So
cool.
out of those like 10 years, like would you say it's like the best thing you did?
Well, I'm lucky in that all my work at Paramount is focused on community investment, working with great nonprofit partners like Brotherhood Crusade and meeting people like Charisse. And we've done things with Brotherhood Crusade year over year, things like our annual I Have a Dream Day, where we bring in some of our employees to come and talk to the young people there to speak candidly about the challenges that they've overcome in order to kind of move forward in their career. Because we want to be super honest that it's not always an easy path to success, and how you deal with your challenges really says a lot about who you are and the success you're going to have later in life. So for me, my best part of working at Paramount really is all the different nonprofit organizations that we invest in, that we partner in, the young people that we get to meet, hopefully the lives that we get to inspire. And like I say, empower those voices, right? I mean, our mentoring program is all about empowering young voices and letting them know that what they want to say needs to be heard, that we want to hear it. Put it down in a story or a poem or a script, but we just want to make sure that those young voices are being empowered.
Yeah, I also had like when we was there, like you guys were like on strike, of course. So, like I never
The
got to
writers.
see like what's the actual like day. It's a lot of movies like on a regular day, or is it like?
Yeah, right. So we've got about 32 sound stages on the lot. And generally they're all, in ordinary times, they're all rented out with different TV shows. So things like The Thundermans and How I Met Your Father and This Is Us and iCarly, Dr. Phil has been shooting on the lot. So yeah, usually there's a lot of activity going on and all of the sound stages are completely full. Right now things are a little more quiet, but we're looking forward to getting things all wrapped up back again.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Thanks for coming to the lot. Hopefully that won't be your last time. Hopefully you'll come back. Yeah, of course.
Do you mind if I ask you one question?
Please.
Okay, so I'm highly interested in cybersecurity and informational technology.
Great.
And so we live in a digital world now where these technological advancements are changing the future of what it means to be human. They have the potential to do that. And so just moving forward, I want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence. How do you think AI can potentially impact stability production in the future?
Wow. So big caveat that is not my area of influence or knowledge. But I will say this. When you talk about kind of cybersecurity and whatnot,
Right.
what you may not realize is on the lot, on the Paramount lot, we have something called the GSOC, which is a global security office, where literally it's a huge wall of multiple screens that show information about all different locations in the world where our employees are, whether they're shooting a movie, whether they're traveling for work, and it oversees everything that's going on, right? And so for an example, when I travel for work, I just got back from London, you have to let the company know kind of where obviously they know where you're going. But fascinating that as I was about to get in the tube and go to a meeting, I get a text on my phone that says, do not go to the tube station and I forget which one it was, there's a fire in that station, take this station instead. So the fact that my company knew where I was at that moment, where I was going, and diverted me to avoid a fire that was in that tube station, like that's kind of mind-blowing stuff, right? That's great. So I think the global security piece cybersecurity is a huge component for every company. I mean, we are not a security company, but I mean, that is a priority for them. For AI,
Are you for or against it?
I mean, I have a lot of friends who are writers who bring their human experience, their emotions, and I mean, I personally would rather read something written by someone who's lived that experience as opposed to artificially imagining what that experience might be. That being said, most people have said that I'm incredibly old-fashioned. But yeah, I love the human lived experience for me has a lot more passion to it.
And it's more creative for humans to express how we feel rather than a robot being.
Absolutely.
But in general, I think that we must make robots an ally rather than a self-destruction, a latest self-destruction, whether that could potentially benefit us in the positive light instead of looking at it as, oh, this can potentially hurt myself and my future career.
We've got to find the place for
Yeah.
it, the appropriate place for it, right? It can't undercut the human experience, but is there a role for AI? I'm sure there is. Yeah. That's a great question.
Thank you so much.
Stressing me. Thanks, Mariah.
No, thank you.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
My name is JP.
Hey, JP.
They don't want to switch the background foundation. Sorry if I have the camera in your face right now, but
That's all right.
I just wanted to ask you one question.
Sure.
I wanted to know, do you know any companies or programs that could possibly help me jumpstart my career into acting and or cinematography, especially with someone who I never went to college. I graduated during the pandemic.
Yep.
And currently right now I work as an EMT first responder.
Good for you. That's great. My husband's a first responder. That's great.
Awesome. But
Wonderful.
I'm trying to use that as a basis to help fund my career into film. That's how I use the money I used to buy all this camera equipment. This is my own stuff. Nothing I borrowed from Kevin. I've been doing freelance for the past few years, and met Kevin, and now I'm working under him as well. So is there anything or any company that could help me do something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you for your service because first responders obviously are an important part of my family, and I, knowing how my yesterday was jacked up with phone calls that my husband was receiving for different issues happening in our city, I know it takes a big piece of your personal life to be a first responder, so thank you for your sacrifice. So there are great programs out there. One is called Array Crew, founded by Ava DuVernay, which is very focused on helping under-resourced, underrepresented young people find their way into the industry. It is free to register on Array Crew, and corporations like mine invest in Array Crew and then look to see who is there, who's available that we can bring on to our productions. So without a doubt, you should enroll yourself into Array Crew, and it's literally Array Crew, and you'll find it anywhere. And then another great program that we invest in that we partner with a lot is called Group Effort Initiative, GEI. That was founded by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. And again, the goal is to take under-resourced, underrepresented, not necessarily young people because they're looking at kind of a broader scope, but helping to train them so that they can find those first opportunities. We have brought on a number of Group Effort Initiative trainees onto our productions, onto Mean Girls the Musical. We've got a film with Ryan called If that's going to come out next year. We had a GEI trainee on that. It is a phenomenal way to find yourself on a set. And we take people all the time from there. So again, Group Effort Initiative, Array Crew. I want you to look both of those up, okay?
Do you know where they're based out of? Because I live all the way in San Bernardino, so.
Okay, so GEI, I believe, is based here, although it is a national program, and I think they've got offices in New York and Atlanta. Array Crew is here. Array Crew is here. But they place people in, it's an online platform that you can enroll yourself into, and they place people into productions in Canada and across the U.S. So we use them to hire people for our shows in Atlanta, in Vancouver, all kinds of places. Array Crew, Group Effort Initiative.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know we need to let some other people get to you. But we'll just need some information, hopefully, because
Great.
we have like a ton of folks that are in our pipeline program year-round.
Excellent, excellent.
So we're a talent search firm. That's what we're looking really to do. is find
That's
talent.
great. That's great. That's a big piece of what we're looking to do is to diversify our below-the-line crew members. So
That's exactly what his mission is, to find the underprivileged or the ones who don't have the experience or the
access,
opportunities, and to expose us to these events and panels. To bring them in.
Excellent.
Guys, there's like a ton of people who want to talk to her. Okay.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, this is another gentleman
thank you.
here.
Thank you for your service.
This is another gentleman here.